Hey there, guys. I've been asked a few times to show a lightning element clear on the current Clash of Wills, and I've said earlier that lightning element is not the easiest to make happen on this Clash of Wills, but it was requested quite a few times, so I spent the evening figuring it out, and we're going to go get a rank 1 lightning element clear. And this is the party we're going to go with. We're going to be using Melissa for morale fill, mitigations, re-raise, and most importantly, human killer. We're going to use Nora for doing beast killer. You can also do it with Melissa as well, technically speaking, but Nora's going to also be our imperil field for lightning. Malphasy will be our demon killer for the party. Now, her personal damage is going to be relatively on the low end, but she's going to properly chain and all that, and it's going to be the demon killer. Now, you could use something like Ibarra, and I tried that briefly. The issue I found was Ibarra's rotation is not very friendly to what we're doing in this clear, so we're going to take Malphasy instead. Even though Malphasy is only going to have a 35% amplify for the entire clear. Elena is going to be the leader as well as our tank. And then Wondrous Lightning is going to be here for damage, so is Die. Let's get in here and give it a go. Now, I have to warn you right up front, this is not an easy clear to pull off to get a rank 1. Very, very tricky. It took me a few times. We're not going to overkill by a bunch. It's going to be a slow clear, etc., etc. But we are going to get it done. So, here we go. So, for turn 1, Malphasy in the base form will sing Zidane's STMR, so we can get that 300% LB buff for our burst turn. We're going to have Wondrous Flash Lightning, just do AoE Thunder Imbue for the party. We'll Imperilga, and we'll use Ulir's Shield for the mitigation for herself. Die can just do his LB on turn 1. Elena is going to cover. We're going to Sanctuary for the Racial Mitts, and Celestial for the 90% mitigation. Nora on this turn can just do her field. We'll do Living for 2 for the morale gain. And then just, Burst and Thundega, kind of whatever. Melissa will do Shelga for the mitigation. We'll do Parasol for the mitigation. And Chronic Flow to start the morale game. So turn 1's not too terribly bad. Elena's had 90% mitigation. The rest of the party is overall fine. There we go. No big deal. Okay, and by the way, Lightning is in the shift form. We're going to be spending all the fight in her base form, basically. But the shift form is going to be just for auto-buffing and all that kind of fun stuff. So this turn, Melissa will do Shared Immunity. We're going to do Minutes of Might and then just a killer. It doesn't really matter on who. We're not bursting yet. Nora can reapply the field, and then we'll just do Burst a few times. Basically, we're just stalling until turn 6 at this point. Elena will do Brisk Daybreak for the morale gain, with this power for the morale gain and the ice resist, and then we're going to do Pollux' Blade to break the boss. By the way, we used Obsidian Bracer for the turn 1 breaks. Wondrous Lightning can just reload, and then Die can just do Triple Zapple. Okay, this is a low damage turn, not too bad. It is, I think, one attack that does bypass cover. It'll hit a little bit hard. We don't have Elena's LB yet, but it'll be fine. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, on this turn, we're going to use Elena's LB first. So wait for the auto casting to finish. Don't use Nora yet. So Elena's LB for the mitigation. Lightning can just reload. We're going to shift Die to the shift form to start that trance shift cooldown. And then just triple Zapple again. Let's see. Nora can just repeat. And then Melissa will use her SLB targeting herself for the cooldown reduction. We want to get that Parasol shield off cooldown so we can maintain human mitigation for the entirety of the fight. Or beast mitigation. I'm sorry, beast mitigation. Human and demon are coming from Elena. And then the beast mitigation from Melissa. Okay, that was a low damage turn. Now, this is a high damage turn, and this turn you have to use an offensive limit burst. So what we're going to do, Nora's going to use her buffing LB. We're going to use Malphasy's base form LB. We're going to guard Elena so that she doesn't die on this turn. We're going to use Die in the shift form to do Blade Slash to, what's it called? To Sword in Peril. We're going to do, let's see here, Focus Defense so he doesn't die this turn, and Zapple. Lightning can just repeat this turn. Let's see, Melissa is going to Shelga. We're going to do Curega, just to heal up everybody, and then we're going to do Parasol again for that beast mitigation. And then Malphasy can do her LB, and that will stop the boss from doing the Call of the Wild. Excuse me. Okay, so with all those mitigations and stopping the boss's attack, we're totally fine. You know, as long as you do an LB on that turn, you should be good. An offensive LB. Nora's SLB does not count. So we're going to burst next turn. So what we're going to do, Nora is going to quad. We're going to do Esoteric. I've got my turn chart over here. We're going to field. We're going to Beast Killer and Magnus for the 150 amp. Lightning will do 150 amp. The whole world is against us. And Spark Strike to refresh the brakes. Dragonoid Die will do the Demon Killer for himself, a big Demon Killer. We're going to do 150 amp and Draconoid Aura for the last action. Malphasy is going to shift here. Now she's only got a 35 amp from Nora like I mentioned earlier. So what she's going to do is we're going to just do triple cast here. We're going to do Demon Killer. I did it wrong. Hold on. We're going to do Demon Killer, Skilled Scavengers, and Fleetwing Flyers. Elena on this turn is going to cover again. We're going to put that field back, or her field up for the 10-turn field. It's only a stat... Oh, hold on. I just knocked my headphones off. Anyway, it's only a stat field, but it's the best field we have. And then we're going to do... What was I doing? Let's see. Cover field and Barb Lazega. And Melissa will do shared immunity. We're going to Beast Killer on Lightning, and we're going to Human Killer on Nora. Okay, this is a pretty low damage turn, so we should be fine here. Okay, now it is time to burst and do the 5 billion or better. Definitely needs to rely on a decent roll. We shouldn't need that much variance, but we might need a little bit of a roll. So we're going to shift Elena on this turn, and she's not going to LB. We need to save her LB for next turn. So we're going to double Bolting and Beetlejuice. Melissa on this turn is going to Seconds of Support on Nora, who's our biggest damage dealer here. We're going to Beast Killer on Die, and we're going to Human Killer on Die. Lightning is going to base form LB, Die will shift at LB, Malphasy will shift at LB, and Nora will normal LB. We will do the defensive spirit buff, the attack and magic buff. We're also going to do the earth resist buff because we are pushing a threshold. Some people are going to die, but that's okay. So we're going to send Lightning first. We're going to wait just a moment, then we're going to send Die. We're going to wait just a moment, then we're going to send... the back row Extreme Novas with Elena doing just her bolting to weave in. This is not going to be the 100 count chain score, but that's okay. We're going to get that later. And there we go. So it should be 5 billion or better, probably like 5.2-ish approximately. Oh, bear, that was a low roll, but it's fine. We got it. Okay. Like I said, this is more just to show you that it can be done. This is not really something I would recommend you copy because capping with Thunder is really hard to do. But, you know, we're doing it, technically. Okay, so now we're in phase 1 still, basically. Like this team is bad. But anyway, so we're going to SLB Nora. We're going to Melissa SLB targeting herself. Now we're going to go to the base form with Elena. And we're going to base form LB. That is going to... seal the boss. You got to use offensive LB this turn to seal the boss. Let's see. Die in the base form now. We'll do Father's Crest. And then we'll just Zapple twice. Or Kazap. It doesn't matter. Just Bolting Strike. Lightning. I'm sorry. I'm choking tonight. Lightning is going to end Thundega. We're going to How I Live Is Up to Me, and we're going to Spark Strike. And Malphasy will just quad bolting, which don't forget is a tag chaining move at this point. So there we go. We can go ahead and do the attack and magic buff. The boss has, you know, mitigation and all. We're not going to deal that much damage, but every little bit helps. Like I said, we're not going to do that much damage. And whatever that was must have been lightning coming in later. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to lose Elena here, by the way. But she's going to re-raise. Oh, hey, we didn't lose her. That is surprising. But that's fine. That's, you know, totally fine. So honestly speaking, I was expecting her to die in re-raise. So we're going to just use the healing from the bar to give her a little bit of health. And we're going to assume she did die. Because normally she's going to die there. But surprised she didn't. So we're going to cover. We're going to bolting. And we're going to absolute mirror of equity on this turn. You know what? We don't really need that. Well, yeah, let's do that to make sure that we fill her LB gauge. We're going to use Malphasy to double bolting. We're going to ambush, and then Dreams of Flying is the last action. Nora will quad. We'll do triple Enigma, and then Field is the last action. Dai can just triple Kazap in the base form. Lightning can triple Blitz. And by the way, this is going to be our chain count score. And Melissa is going to assume that Elena died. So we're going to Shared, we're going to Shelga, and we're going to Parasol. And we're going to Resounding Will. And we'll chain this up. This will be your 100 count chain score for the fight. And a little bit of damage. Not that much, but some. 100 count chain score, done. Okay. And we're going to burst next turn. It's not going to be a good burst. We don't have good amplifies. Some people are stuck in the base form. I will be right back. Anyway, what are we doing on turn 9? So this turn, Melissa is going to triple. We're going to Minutes of Might for the LB buff. We're going to Human Killer on Nora. And we're going to Beast Killer on Lightning. Remember, Nora has her own Beast Killer, doesn't she? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's still up. So we're going to Beast Killer on Lightning. So Nora's going to LB. Malphasy is going to base form LB. Elena is going to base form LB. Dai is going to base form LB. And Lightning is going to base form LB. Let's go ahead and attack and magic buff. And we chain this up. And the goal here is to push the 50 threshold. If we don't, it's okay. We can get it the next turn, but preferably we do it on this turn. And we did. That's good. And again, you know, like I said, you know, if we didn't, it would have been okay. We could have pushed it next turn with chaining, but getting it on that turn is convenient. Because Malphasy is going to LB again next turn. So she would have pushed it if you didn't push it this turn. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to first have Nora do her SLB. We're going to SLB Melissa, targeting herself. And Elena is going to triple bar Blazega. We got to, because again, this turn we have to hit with an offensive LB, and we're all empty. So what we're going to do, we're going to triple bar Blazega, or Ja, with Elena to fill LB gauge, and Dai is going to triple. We're going to Hearts as 1. That's going to fill the rest of the LB gauge for the party. So Hearts is 1, and then just double Zapple. Lightning can end Thundega, Imperilga, and Spark Strike. Hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had to think wrong thing in my turn chart. Anyway, and Spark Strikes. We're going to go ahead and do that. And that fills Malphasy all the way. So she can go ahead and LB to seal the boss. Also, if you didn't push the threshold, that would have pushed it on that turn. Of course, the boss has mitigations and all because we did push the threshold. Anyway, here's some attacks. And Elena dies, we don't care. She re-raises, we're good. Yeah, the Parasol is maintaining a re-raise for her every turn. So once again, we're going to Parasol with Melissa to reapply all those buffs that we lost on Elena. So Shared, Parasol, and Shelga. Elena on this turn is going to Bolting, Cover, and with this power. Malphasy on this turn is going to just Bolting 4 times, which is also tag chaining, don't forget. Nora is going to, let's see here, Esoteric, Field, Beast Killer, and no, let's actually do it this way. Let's do it as Beast Killer, Esoteric, Bolting, and Field. So we can squeeze all the damage possible. Die is going to shift here, and we're going to put up that sword break, the Draconoid Aura, and I'm doing it wrong. Hold on. Draconoid's got to be last. So we're going to Killer, Sword in Peril, and then Draconoid Aura. Lightning on this turn, turn 11, we're going to end Thundega. We'll just Spark Strike again, and we're going to do the whole world is against us. Okay, let's go ahead and do this and chain this up a little bit. Again, not going to be much chaining, but it's fine. The next turn, the mitigations and all go away. Okay, turn 12, we are going to burst yet again. So before we do, we need to refresh the LB buff and all that with Melissa. And because she's SOBing herself every few turns, it maintains it. So let's see here. We're going to Minutes of Might. We're going to Human Killer on Nora. Let's see here. Human Killer on Nora. And you can either Beast Killer on Lightning or Seconds of Support on Nora. I think I'm a Seconds of Support on Nora for more damage. Okay, so we're going to LBU. We're going to shift Malphasy and shifted LB here. Elena is going to base LB. Die is going to shift at LB. Lightning is going to base LB. We're going to do this here. And here we go. So this is probably not going to push the 25 threshold. If it does, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's okay. Either way is fine. That's not a problem. That's fine. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, we're going to be doing basically a turn 18 kill for this clear. A little bit slow. Okay, so the usual stuff. Now here's the tricky thing yet again. But first of all, let's go ahead and do Nora's SLB. Let's do Melissa's SLB, targeting herself. Very important. Let's see my turn chart. So we're going to triple Blazega on our Elena. Now, here's the tricky thing. You need someone to have gotten those crystals. It doesn't matter who among these 3 units, but one of these people have to do their LB. Thankfully, Malphasy got it. If no one got their LB this turn, then just chain the 2 people that are the lowest, and hopefully the highest gets a drop or 2 and gets it. A little bit RNG, but we did get it, so we're going to go ahead and LB her right there. And that seals the boss on this turn. So Lightning can just, do kind of whatever for the most part. I'm looking at her LB. Now she's good. So we can just, refresh buffs, Imperil in whatever, and Spark Strike, and Dragonoid Die, and the Shift form can do, Bolting 3 times. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, every 3rd turn the boss gets a mitigation and all. It's very unfortunate. And this party has no one to dispel, so not the greatest party. There goes Elena again. That's okay. We don't really care if she dies. We expect her to die. Okay, so we're going for another rotation. So Elena, she did die just now, so we're going to cover. We're going to Bolting, and we're going to bar Blazega. Malphasy on this turn is going to do Demon Killer. We're going to do Skilled Scavengers. We're going to do Aerial Ambush and Dreams of Flying. Nora is going to do, let's see here, Triple Enigma and Field. Die is going to do, he's going to refresh his killer, he's going to refresh the Dragonoid thing, and then he'll just do a Kazap or a Zapple, it doesn't matter. Lightning can do, let's see here. We just did in Thundega a second ago, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. So we'll just do, I guess Blitz 3 times. It's fine. And let's go ahead and do some buffs again, because we did lose our tank. So Parasol, Shared, and Shelga. We'll go ahead and do some attack and magic buffs. And we'll chain this up. Now make sure you don't push the threshold this turn, which we shouldn't. Wow, that was close. If you're pushing the threshold, just don't push it. So be careful. If you're really close to 25, you don't want to push it, because that'll activate the boss's buffs again. But we're going to push it on this turn instead. And again, we're not going to kill the boss, but we're going to get close. We're going to get close to killing him. So Melissa is going to, again, Minutes of Might. We will Human Killer on Nora and Beast Killer on Lightning. Nora will LB. Malphasy will shift at LB. Elena will base LB. Die will base LB. And Lightning will base LB. And we will hit the boss as hard as we can and activate that final threshold. Eileen is not imbued, which is why you saw that resist. But it's fine. It doesn't really matter. She's support chaining, and her LB puts out the mitigations. Okay, so last threshold. Here we go. And the boss has buffs for 2 turns, and we'll kill him on turn 18. So we're going to spend some turns setting it up. So once again, we have to push the, we have to do an LB this turn. So a little bit of RNG. Make sure your party is wearing some LB fill gear. So do this, triple Barb Blazeja. It looks like we're going to be doing the LB with Die this turn. Yep. So Die will do his LB. We can try to chain it if possible. So Lightning will just, I guess we're not going to, do this, and Parolga, and the whole world is against us. Now Phasey is back in the base form, so we'll just triple bolting. Or quad bolting, actually. And again, this is not going to do anything. The boss has mitigation and all, but we had to do an LB to seal him, and Die handles that for us right there. And there goes Elena. Oh, or not. She survived. Okay. Unfortunately, she survived at like 300 health. That's very unfortunate because now she's low on health. We'll go ahead and use the healing from the bar right there. It's fine. Who cares? So we're going to cover. Again, we're going to assume she died. So we're going to cover. We're going to. I guess we don't need to bolting to fill her LB gauge, do we? So we're going to cover. I guess we'll use her to heal. We'll cover. We'll Curega. And we'll Barb Blazeja. Melissa will put up all the buffs again. Shared. Shelga. And Parasol. You know, this is pretty boring clear. It's like the rotation just repeats forever. But whatever. So Die will get ready for bursting next turn. We're going to Fathers. We did use his LB, so we're going to go ahead and use his fill LB cooldown. And then just, you know, whatever, who cares. Lightning can do just, you know, stuff. Doesn't matter. Malphasy on this turn can just quad bolting. Nora can, let's see here. This is like a rebuff turn, isn't it? It is. So Esoteric, bolting, Beast, and Field. Okay. So the boss is gaining a lot of morale at this point. As you notice, the morale gauge is going up, but it's fine. We'll take care of it with Melissa. And there we go. Now it is time to kill the boss. His buffs are gone. He did gain a ton of morale, so we're going to, you know, auto-cast a bunch. And then Melissa's going to use some skills beforehand, so we're going to be fine. Actually, we're already at max morale. So we're going to go ahead and, whoops. We're going to go ahead and minutes. We're going to support on Nora, and we're going to human killer on Nora. Nora will LB, LB. We can go ahead and shift at LB Elena for a tiny bit of damage. 1 second, I gotta change my turn chart. There we go. Base LBU, and we're gonna stay in the base form for die because we used his mod buff for the base form. We're gonna base form LB die. Use this, and there we go. There is our rank 1 using a lightning element party, which gets it done, but it is certainly not an easy clear. You definitely need, you know, good gear and all that kind of foolishness. But we got it done, which is all that really matters. So it can be done. Still wouldn't recommend it. But it was handled. Okay, I'll show you the gear. I'll have a turn chart in the comments, but again, I don't recommend you to go this route unless you absolutely have to. Fire or earth are so much better on this boss as compared to thunder. But here's the breakdown. So Nora is a really good unit here because of her 3-turn rotation. It always perfectly lines up with that you know, vulnerable window on the boss. It does require EX3 though. And we also gave her all the best buffs because of that. Wondrous Lightning, a little bit awkward. We still bursted every time, you know, whatever. But after that first burst, all she had was the 35 Amplify, whereas Nora has a permanent 60. So that kind of a, you know, downside. Twin Dragon Quest die. He only gets morale buffs in the shift form, which is a trance shift. He's not a great clash unit, but I wanted to use him at least once because I did get him. And then Malphase, even with only a 35% Amplify, that's all she had the entire fight, was a 35% Amplify from Nora or Lightning, and she still did, you know, really good damage. Anyway, oh hey, look at this. Honestly speaking, I'd rather a blue ticket over a green ticket. I really would. Anyway, let's go and show you the gear. Oh, people asked me to please show the gear while all modifiers are turned on. So we'll turn on the modifiers, and then I'll show you the gear. So keep in mind, this is with the modifiers enabled. So, Melissa, nothing special. Bulk, some resistance gear, earth resist for the threshold. There we go. I gave her provoke. I don't know if it matters, honestly speaking. And then there it is. Lightning in the shift form. We start in the shift form. This is just auto buffing. So Celestite Rod, Obsidian Bracer, some auto mitigations, etc. Base form is where her morale scaling comes from. So that's what we did in the base form. Right there. Status immunity because she's not naturally petrify immune. There it is. Max on all the killers. And a bunch of LB fill. Notice that she is at 12 LB fill per turn. Actually, more than that, but there you go. And we also gave her the Beast Overkiller. And then she had her own card. Dragon Quest die is... the base form is it's kind of a weird unit. The base form is a physical unit. And we're using the Ibarra card. So there we go. He's got some LB fill as well. Because remember, we have to seal the boss. So there it is. Shift form is a magic unit. So... there it is with his shift form. Nora is the big boy damage here. So she got all the clash gear. There's her setup. Some chain speed with Medines and Prodigious. And she's maxed on everything using Rick's card. And then Malphase in both forms, or the weapons are inverted, but same thing. There we go. Now in the base form, she's using, right here. In the base form, she's using... I wanted to go with you, and then Chow's ST-Mar for some LB fill per turn. Only 6. You know, I probably should have had more, but whoops. Anyway, and then shift form is change speed, because that's her good damage form. And then we're using that card. And Elena in the base form is using, with the modifiers turned on. She's at 70 ice and 170 earth. There it is. I gave her Paws of Prosperity for a little bit of LB fill. It's optional, it just makes it a little bit easier. Some auto mitigation with Tenacity and Mythica. And then, you know, the bulk card. Shift form, we only went there like one turn the whole fight. A little bit of damage, but also the shift form, it does have high resistances, so that when we do shift, we don't die. Okay, there it is. Hope it helps. See you in a bit.